time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Welcome, friends and neighbors. I'm Tyler Kieft. Thank you so much for joining us. Close to home this weekend, West Bloomfield put a focus on inclusion and community cohesion with the Friendship Circle's annual Walk for Friendship event. Civic Center TV's Jake Schaff has more.
Every single year, the Friendship Circle puts together the incredible event known as Walk for Friendship. And this year, Walk for Friendship is reminding you that you matter as they have hit their $1 million donation goal to support children with special needs. Everywhere you look, there are feelings of jubilation today as everyone is excited and completely honored to be taking part in this incredible event.
It's been great. This is my first year doing it. I heard about it through a friend and just wanted to be able to participate and give back where I can in the community. It's really moving just to see people come together and support one another and their families with their children and adults with disabilities. So it's been great.
It's been really good. I've been coming since I was 8 years old, and I'm 16 now, so this is my 8th year coming. And my brother has autism, so we're actually here for his team. So we're here for Team Brady today. So this is probably like my favorite event of the year because I like to volunteer a lot for these kind of stuff. And honestly, it just gets bigger and bigger every year. We hit like over $1 million this year, which is really good. And there's just so much stuff to do, and there's so many people. It's so great to see people showing up.
What do you think an event like this means to the West Bloomfield community?
I think it shows that we can grow as a community to be closer and have more events like this. It's made me want to be more involved and try to do more for my community, and I like how everyone has came here. They should definitely come next year, and the more the merrier.
It's always exciting every time I'm walking with Friendship Circle. I've been a supporter of Friendship Circle since we moved here in 2012, and I've been walking with them every year that I could. Seeing the community come out to support something that is so incredibly important, it's heartwarming.
And what can you say about the theme for this year's Walk for Friendship celebration, You Matter?
It is, I think people need to remember that every single person has value, and it's not just you matter, we matter, they matter. And it's so easy in this day and age to think only about yourself and to forget about others. And I believe the you matter is supposed to be a personally fulfilling message, but it's also a reminder that just as much as you matter, so does the other person. And that's why people need to step up and be part of this.
What would you say are some of the most important qualities one could take away from being a part of Walk for Friendship?
I think it's just enjoying the camaraderie, just kind of letting your hair down and getting to know others in different situations, and there's always a common connection somewhere in it.
I think it just shows like how much you need a community, especially when you're like struggling with an autism diagnosis. I know when my brother first got diagnosed, like this really helped my mom, especially the Friendship Circle. And I think it's so good that we're raising money for just such a great cause.
Right now, Friendship Circle serves a community that for so many years has sort of lived in the shadows, has been overlooked. And I think it's been more and more comfortable for people who are special needs to self-identify outwardly. And this is a great opportunity for the community to recognize just how widespread the needs are and to see the value of organizations like Friendship Circle and what they can do to help that community.
It has warmed my heart to see the smiles on everybody's faces today as they have helped to achieve Walk for Friendship's $1 million goal. I matter, you matter, everybody matters in the greater West Bloomfield community, and I can't wait to see just how much of a difference this year's event has made. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jake Schaff.
For more information, ways to get involved, and of course to make donations if you still choose to do so with the Friendship Circle, you can visit walk4friendship.com or follow the Friendship Circle on Facebook and on Instagram at FC Michigan. Today marks the first day of school for many of our local school districts, including those in the West Bloomfield schools. It's a special week welcoming kids back to the classroom and beginning a long campaign of learning that spans now through early portions of June in 2026. Special things on the docket for the first week in West Bloomfield. A full day of school today, family fun night, and Laker football coming up on Thursday. More on those later on in the show. And then a relaxing day off on Friday for the kids following an action-packed first week of the school year to begin 2025-2026. For more updates throughout the school year, you can follow the West Bloomfield School District on Facebook and on Instagram at West Bloomfield Schools, or visit their website for updates and schedules for throughout the school year, wbsd.org. One of the favorite fall outings in Greater West Bloomfield is On the Move. It'll be in the same place, but a little bit earlier in 2025 for the West Bloomfield Fire Department open house, moving from its usual October date back to Sunday, September 21st. The move makes room for the fire department to clear out Fire Station 1 next to West Bloomfield High School, the annual location, of course, for the event, which is set to undergo significant renovation, a complete overhaul, in fact, beginning estimated in October. For more information on the fire department open house, stay tuned here on Civic Center TV, including for some coverage on Sunday, September 21st and beyond, or follow them on Facebook at WB Fire Department. It could be a family member, it could be a coworker, or another member of your community out in the public. When a medical emergency suddenly puts life or death into question, will you know what to do in those precious moments leading up to the response from first responders? It's made much easier with the help of our local fire department, which provides first aid and CPR training to help keep people like you prepared. Joining me now on the Splash Live is West Bloomfield Fire Department's Captain and EMS Coordinator Blake Belsky. Captain Belsky, thank you for being on the show today.
Good morning, Tyler. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, happy to have you back, especially for a topic like this. As we get into the school year, as we get into the fall, and people are out and about for fall events, and there's all the stress of the holidays that come up eventually. There's a lot of different risk factors that could put people's lives at risk and be in need of someone being able to administer CPR or use an AED. So for the average citizen in West Bloomfield, why should they get trained from our local fire department or another organization in CPR and in first aid?
Well, cardiac arrest is one of those factors that is able to ignore age. It's able to ignore income. It doesn't matter where you live, where you came from, or who you hang out with. Everyone is at risk eventually for sudden cardiac arrest, and to reduce the likelihood of that being a fatal incident, if somebody is able to provide CPR and use an AED within seconds of you experiencing that cardiac arrest, that significantly increases your likelihood for survival.
And so when people undergo this training, what are some of the things that they learn that can really be helpful, not only when they complete the training, but even in the event that they experience some sort of sudden cardiac arrest or another emergency while they're in that training proper?
Well, one of the things that we tell people in the first 5 minutes of this training is that the folks that work for the fire department and the police department, they're out there and they've certainly done their fair share of CPR in their careers. We've never seen it work unless somebody is doing CPR when we arrive. Sometimes that's at a nursing home where you've got a medical professional providing CPR. Sometimes it's at somebody's house during a holiday dinner. Somebody experienced cardiac arrest and somebody who had training was able to come in, start doing compressions, maybe start some rescue breathing, and give that person a fighting chance to get a heartbeat back by the time we arrive and are able to take over. We do a lot of CPR. We can't do it successfully without the help of the community, though, and that's why this training is so valuable.
And so for people that may be interested, they want to get CPR trained, they want to update their training and maybe get recertified, how do they go about that with the West Bloomfield Fire Department?
So the West Bloomfield Fire Department is a regional training center for the American Heart Association. We offer certification classes every other month on the first Monday of the month in the evenings, trying to accommodate those work schedules. Our next class is on, it looks like October 6th. Then we have another one scheduled for December 1st. at 6 p.m. both days. And if you're interested, it's a $35 charge, and that covers the cost of the book and the cost of the certification card from the American Heart Association. I would love for everyone who's interested to call our office at 248-409-1505. Our AHA guru, Amy, will be able to get everything scheduled. There is one little hitch. We still only accept cash payments for these classes. It's just a way that we're able to process this quickly and efficiently. But if you're interested in a class that's not scheduled, we love to come in, and we can do these classes for church groups. We can do them for neighborhood associations. And give us a call at that phone number, and we'd be happy to schedule anything that works best for your group and your schedule.
And you made this important point earlier, kind of are now touching on it again. All these different groups, they all need to have some sort of training like this, at least somebody in that group in the event of an emergency, but also that comes back to CPR, first aid, even AED training, being something that can be done for all ages. It's not something that's limited to just adults. That's also a really important thing for people to consider, especially with their kids back in school.
Absolutely. The AHA does not put a limit on how old you have to be to get the certification. If you're interested in just learning hands-only CPR, that is I can teach you hands-only CPR in about 30 seconds. And I appreciate you mentioned the change in the date for the fire department open house. We will have a hands-only CPR station where we will teach you how to do compressions. As soon as you see someone fall down and you don't notice a pulse, you can do something immediately and learn it quickly and move on with the rest of your day. Get some cider and donuts at the open house. We've got some fantastic community partners at the high school. Mrs. Zanotti and Mrs. Danton do a great job with their CPR program. They're affiliated with our training center. The student Matilda Edwardson has done a really fantastic job with her WV Has Heart program, getting CPR education out to her peers at the high school. It's been really fantastic to work with everyone over there.
And to see their interest, too, in this, because it's become more of a reality that this doesn't have an age limit to it. We're not going to see sudden cardiac arrest just in mostly elderly patients or those that have some common physical risk factors that really can be something that affects people of all different ages. And so for you on the first responders side, to see that sort of interest from especially young people in the community, how does that give you and your peers confidence, especially as you're going out on these emergency calls and are being called in for life-saving service where, as you said, those opening moments can be really critical?
Absolutely. We've been very fortunate in West Bloomfield to have the support of the community when it comes to a reliable tax base or people coming out and seeing what their tax dollars are paying for at the open house. But that support goes so much further than just making sure that you're up to date on your taxes. To support your community by learning CPR, to save the people who live next door, save the people that live in your house, shop at your grocery stores. It's really wonderful for us to see because, we've only got so many tools, and it's going to take us from the time somebody calls 911 to the time our crews can arrive. It could be 5-7 minutes from phone call to arrival on scene. And that 5 to 7 minutes is a long time for your body to go without a heartbeat. So the sooner somebody is able to jump in there, it certainly makes our job a lot easier. And there's really nothing better than doing CPR on somebody and feeling that pulse come back, seeing a blood pressure, and maybe 2-3 weeks down the road, seeing that patient walk out of the hospital. It really is a wonderful thing, and it makes everyone on our crew smile.
You can follow the West Bloomfield Fire Department on Facebook at WB Fire Department. You can also visit their website on the West Bloomfield Township website, wbtownship.org, for more information. Joining us from the West Bloomfield Fire Department is Captain and EMS Coordinator Blake Belsky as we consider CPR and first aid training for people across the community. Captain, the training is really helpful. It gives people that full picture of how to potentially save lives or maintain lives before those first responders get to the scene in the event of an emergency. But for those that are at home or at work or anywhere around the community watching and listening to this today that haven't undergone that training or are awaiting that, what are some things that they can know, that they should know now, that can really help in their own providing of first aid right in this moment if something happened today before our West Bloomfield Fire Department arrives on scene?
Sure, and a lot of people, even with that, the knowledge and the skill set after they get the training, it's a big ask to ask somebody to intervene. Early identification. We love prevention, but we love early identification. If you see somebody collapse, go up and see if they're okay. And if they're not okay, whether they're breathing or they're not breathing or they're choking or you can feel a pulse, you can't feel a pulse, the next step after you've identified that something is wrong is call for help. Call 911, get these crews on the road. Our police officers are constantly patrolling. Sometimes they're able to arrive even before the fire department on these cardiac arrest issues. And they've got AEDs in their car. They've got CPR certification as well, and they can get things moving along sometimes before our fire department crews arrive with their advanced equipment. Figuring out that something happened that shouldn't have happened and then calling for help. Those are the biggest things we can do if you don't have the skills or the comfort really to start providing those interventions yourself.
And just one more time for us, you did mention in passing earlier on in our conversation today, those opening moments, you see somebody collapse. You've identified that someone maybe is having a cardiac arrest or other emergency incident. Those first 30 seconds, first couple of minutes, just how vital are those and the response from the people around those individuals in a matter of life and death?
I mean, every second counts, Tyler. We can compare it to holding your breath. When somebody stops breathing, they're not breathing. Try holding your breath for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes until the fire department is able to arrive and start breathing for you. It usually doesn't work out well for the person that's trying to hold their breath that long. If you can't breathe, the sooner somebody's able to start breathing for you, the better your outcome will be.
All the more reason to undergo some of this training from our friends over at the West Bloomfield Fire Department. CPR, first aid, AED training, all through the West Bloomfield Fire Department, or they can point you in the direction of other local organizations that can also help you with that vital training. Captain Belsky, thank you as always for your time.
Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate you having me.
Appreciate it as always. More information from the West Bloomfield Fire Department, including helpful safety tips, first aid tips, information on their fire department open house happening in late September, is on their Facebook page at WB Fire Department. With the school year underway, parents' concerns about their kids' mental and physical health may be on the rise. A new U of M national poll shows 4 out of 5 parents believe their kids' mental health is on the decline, as well as 2 out of 3 parents believing the same to be the case for their kids' physical health. Here with more insight and analysis is Birmingham Maple Clinic therapist Carrie Krawick. Carrie, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, happy to have you on to talk about this because it's a growing concern for parents, mental health and physical health in our kids. There's so much more that goes into being a kid today than in my generation and in generations past. And I'm sure that does contribute to this, but based on this new study, 4 in 5 parents believe their kids' mental health on the decline, 2 out of 3 for physical health. What are some of the key factors that are leading parents to have this quite significant negative belief?
Sure. So there are many factors, societal and, like you said, generational, educational. It's not just one cause, but certainly, like you said, I mean, our kids, in ways we know our kids' mental health is declining, and then also parent anxiety about their kids' health is increasing. So we can look to social media and social comparison. Kids are suffering from those things where, you know, maybe the body image and cyberbullying and those things are impacting them. But also parents are exposed to information on social media. So they're getting stressed and anxious about what their children might be exposed to in their food or diet, or what they might be exposed to online. And they're getting this information also from online. So that's something, in fact, impacting both parents and kids. Parents of this generation in a positive way are definitely more inclined to like self-diagnose or investigate diagnosis or even look for treatment for diagnoses. So we might be seeing an increase just because the information is there and the stigma is down. So in ways that may be a positive thing, but in a way it also might be causing families undue stress.
Yeah, so part of this analysis that from these parents in this study is they're better at identifying that there may be some mental health or physical health struggles with their kids, where past generations of parents maybe had more of a tough it out mentality for it. They thought their kids are just going through a phase or going through a downtime and they'll eventually be okay. They recognize it better now and they take more serious action for it by and large. But in terms of what is triggering maybe these declines that these parents are concerned about, how does screen time and sort of the social pressures of being a kid in 2025 play a factor in this?
Sure. Well, for screen time is of course one thing. So kids are not getting as much play, independent play, and physical play that they once did before, and even outdoor play, both in school and outside of school. So the demands of a life nowadays include very rigorous schedules by both parents and kids that doesn't allow a lot of free time. So certainly we know those are one of the things that impact kids' moods. Plus, parents have a lot of demands on them, and it might be very convenient to hand a screen or something because you also need the time and space to be able to finish the other parts of your job if you're working from home or whatever that might be. So certainly screen time is linked to more stress and anxiety, sleep disruption, less physical activity, all things we know are bad for us. And then the other things that go along with screen time, like I said, like the body image issues and cyberbullying. So there's like also that contributing. But then, like you said, the demands of a busy schedule mean kids are going straight from wake up to school to sports to bed. And even though they might have very active days, they might not be getting that one-on-one connection with their parents, the one-on-one connection with their peers, just the independent time to be just creative, blissful children.
And that's a really important factor, too, because we think about these kids so much in the mindset of getting them ready for the big test that's coming up, getting them ready at the beginning of the school year, to go into middle school, to go into high school, to go in their final year of high school and put them in a great position for college. And sometimes parents and the community forget they're still kids. They're still learning about how to be people and be themselves. So in 2025, what are some steps that parents and really the community surrounding these kids can take to break down some of those stressors and provide the much needed intervention from more experienced adults that can help reduce the impact on their mental and physical health?
You're absolutely right. I mean, we live in such a competitive, such an achievement-oriented culture that we have lost sight of even things like, right, that there are other parts of being a kid, but there's other parts of being a person, you know, and just, like I said, kindness, positive time together, creativity. I mean, there's so much research on boredom. What a fabulous thing boredom is for us, but most kids nowadays aren't that bored, and they don't get enough time to just be creative and ingenious and come up with their own inventive things to do. And that itself is just like such a positive thing for our brains, but positive things for our culture and society. So really embracing and encouraging things that you almost wouldn't necessarily encourage, like, please go be bored and come up with something, impress me with what you've come up to do. Certainly positive time together, parents modeling your behavior. I mean, of course, even parents, when we're bored, we grab our screens, or when we have downtime, we grab our screens. Like, kind of be the change you seek. Like, if you want your kid to be more active, then do something active with them. The kids that are the most resilient from like mental health diagnoses are the ones with like the most positive experiences. And not that every experience has to be positive, like woo, but like just positive times together with their parents, with people who are helpful and supportive of them. It could be as simple as, you know, walking the dog together or playing catch, things that we've really lost sight of, not with the intent to like achieve something, but just to be together and be well.
Yeah, bringing them out of the culture of, look at where I am in life. Look at all these great things that I'm doing, or these great things that this person's doing on social media. Those pressures you get from your community and school, which is a natural part of being a kid, but it is certainly inflated in some ways and others in our modern society. And especially now, Carrie, for parents, they have these concerns about their kids' mental health, about their kids' physical health. Again, to reset, a recent U of M national poll showing 4 in 5 parents have concerns about their kids' mental health and believe it's on the decline. And same goes for physical health. It's actually just slightly less. 2 in 3 parents believe there's an issue with their kids' physical health. especially when they are kids. That's the time you want to get out ahead of these things and build those coping strategies. How critical is it for parents to intervene, to have that constant communication, but also give the kids the space to not overwhelm them in trying to treat these issues so that they can be resilient when they do become adults?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, certainly investigating with a therapist. There are some cases where certain, like you said even before, sometimes it is just a phase, or sometimes you're looking at just a singular symptom, and just being anxious, especially for kids at certain ages, is normal. It doesn't necessarily meet the criteria of an anxiety disorder, or same with depression, even behavior issues and ADHD. There are ages and stages where those behaviors and symptoms make sense, and they don't necessarily meet the criteria for diagnosis. So a proper evaluation to at least rule it out is fine, but sort of an insistence that your kid must be diagnosed or medicated or something isn't necessarily a good thing either. But so certainly just doing some exploration. Is this a life stage, age, phase thing? Or is it something that we need to look at more clearly? I think also, like I said about, positive and negative life experiences, these are really important in our kids' lives. Looking at not just in your household, I mean, certainly kids might have divorce or financial uncertainty or, in social isolation with things like we saw with the pandemic and stuff. So there might be things that are happening in a small scale in your home, but there's also the things that are happening culturally. Is there violence in your community? Are they watching too much news about war or things like that might be impacting them? Then you need to offset those negative experiences with even more positive experiences, warmth, tenderness, and really staying attuned to your particular child.
Yeah, meeting your kids where they're at, taking it step by step. They may have these issues. It's a natural part of life. Certainly is a natural part of being a kid, especially when you get into those early to mid-teen years, especially. Having interventions really important. Not overwhelming with those interventions can also be really important for your kids to be resilient later on. Carrie, anything else that we should be considering on this note before we let you go today?
No, I think it's just for parents to check their own anxieties and to also investigate their own anxieties if they're worried about social comparison, if they're worried about achievement and those things they're projecting onto their children, that to check themselves also too, that if you're going to look and investigate your kids' anxieties or look for interventions for your kids, to also supplement with also for yourself. It can be, in the case when there is a serious concern, it can be helpful for both the parent and child. And when there isn't a serious concern, it can also be helpful for both the parent and the child to just restore normalcy and relax those comparison tendencies.
More information on the Birmingham Maple Clinic can be found on their Facebook page. Follow them at Birmingham Maple. Therapist Carrie Krawick with us on the Splash Live today. Thank you as always for your time and insight.
Thank you for having me.
Their website as well, birminghammaple.com, to find more information and to look into potentially some appointments with some of their professionals at the Birmingham Maple Clinic. And again, you can follow them on Facebook for more information, more insight, and helpful mental health tips at Birmingham Maple. That's again on Facebook at Birmingham Maple. The school year is underway, and so is another year of competitive athletics. But for kids that are going through their final season of their favorite sports, it doesn't mean that they have to get out of their beloved sports upon their graduation at the end of the year. I was recently joined by OAA football officials assigner Bob Check, who told us about potential job opportunities to move athletes from playing the game that they love to refereeing those games after they graduate. Bob, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, happy to have you on the show to talk about this. This was a part of a speech you gave at OAA Football Media Day, really more towards the greater community of student athletes for their futures. We're looking for more officials. I know the MHSAA always is looking for more officials to join across all sports. Certainly the OAA is going to be involved in that as well. But right now, what's the reason for the particular focus on inspiring our current high school athletes to consider refereeing once they graduate?
Well, the average age of the officials that we have in our area is usually around the high 50s to early 60s. So we're getting older. And the problem is that every year we get a year older and the kids stay 16. So sometimes it's a little challenging keeping up with them. So what we would like to do is reach out to all the high school players, and after they graduate, if they want to stay in town, get registered with the Michigan High School Athletic Association for whatever sport they want to do. I personally handle football, girls and boys basketball, baseball, and softball. If they want to get registered with the MHSAA, I will train them, mentor them, and put them to work, because we need more younger people. And it's really if you're going to college, it's really a good part-time job, because you can work the games you can work it around your schedule while you're in college. And the same way you stay part of the game, you're out there running around, and you're getting exercise, and you have somebody younger working these games closer to the age of the kids they're playing. Again, most of us are getting older. We know what we're doing, but sometimes age catches up with us a little bit after a while.
And it helps to keep the sport fresh, I'd imagine, too, because every generation has a different way of approaching the game. The rules, the similarities, the tendencies kind of change over the course of history. And so when you have those young athletes that just got done with their high school career now officiating those high school games, I'd imagine it's a little bit easier for them to level with the players at that rate, because A, they're their own peers, but B, they also have the most immediate understanding of what it's like to play in that setting in our modern age.
Absolutely. If they played, once we train them as officials, they catch on real quick, because, again, they played, they know what's going on, and they catch on real quick. So that's what we need. So we need some more younger guys that want to get out here and run around and be part of our team.
So I don't think a lot of people, Bob, understand just what goes in to being an athletics official. Most of what people know about our referees is that they like to boo them and blame their team's losses on the referees. So when these athletes are transitioning from competing on the field to officiating these games, what does that training look like? What's that big difference in that transition for them?
Well, what we do is, once they get registered, we mentor them and train them, so that when they start working games, they concentrate basically on the game and communicating with the players and coaches. And most of all of them catch on real quick. Their attention needs to be on the game and what's going on, and not worry about what's going on in the stands. And most of them do real well that way. They just lock it out, concentrate on the game, and move forward.
Bob Check is with us. He is the OAA football referee assigner for our local league. That includes West Bloomfield football games, helping to coordinate all the officials we need for all of our fall sports, especially those football games we love on Friday nights. And they need more officials going forward, especially those young kids. So if your kids are playing a fall sport, it's their final season, they can continue in the game next year. Just got to get in contact with Bob and get in contact with the MHSAA to begin that journey. Bob, for those that have made that transition already, they've graduated high school in recent years, now they are officiating. What has been their feeling or their reaction to having gone through this recruiting process themselves, now are in the game in this capacity years later? Do you find that they find this rewarding?
They do. And once we get them trained and get going, they normally stick with us. And even after they're done with school or college, most of them will stick with us after they get into their adult life and job situations. But once we get them, we normally hold on to them, and they enjoy doing what they're doing.
So why do we need really well-trained officials, and especially those that are going to stay in these games for extended periods of time?
Well, as you know, these athletes today are much more gifted than they were when I was playing. I mean, they're really sharp. And many of these sports, they play that sport year-round, so they're really experts at it. So we just got to stay on top of it and do the best we can, so that our level of officiating stays at the level of their expertise while they're playing.
In football, it takes a certain skill set to be a quarterback. It takes a certain skill set and athleticism to be on the defensive line, a certain skill set to be a kicker or a punter with great precision and to have that range. For referees, what are some of the skills that make a really solid official across all sports?
I would say the most important thing is just use common sense. Use common sense, treat people with dignity and respect, and they will give that back to you, because they know you're out there working hard just like they are to do a good job. So common sense, and be a little humble every now and then. That goes a long way.
Bob Check is with us, the OAA football officials assigner on today's edition of the Splash Live as we get ready for fall sports season to get underway, and in some cases already well underway. We're looking not only for the next great athletes in Greater West Bloomfield, but the next great officials in Greater West Bloomfield. Hey, we already have many officials at some of the highest levels in athletics that have at least one time hailed from West Bloomfield. Heck, the lead referee from the most recent Super Bowl, Ron Torbert, used to live right here in West Bloomfield Township. Could be your kids in the near future. Bob, if kids are interested, they want to become referees, they want to at least consider this, how do they get in contact with you or begin this process through the MHSAA?
Okay, the number one thing they need to do is get registered with the Michigan High School Athletic Association. And the phone number there in Lansing is 517-332-5046. And the young lady you want to talk to is absolutely terrific. Her name is Laura Roberts. If you're a brand new official, call up there, talk to Laura. She'll get you going and get you registered. Then once you get registered, you can contact us at MetroDetroitAthleticOfficials.com. And then we will train you, mentor you, and I will be more than happy to put you to work.
That phone number for the registration with the MHSAA, if your kids are interested in becoming officials, or even those younger adults want to become officials, those of all ages always welcome. 517-332-5046. That's 517-332-5046. Speak to Laura Roberts. And of course, even more information on MHSAA.com. Bob, before we let you go, anything else we haven't discussed yet that would be important for people to know as they're considering perhaps becoming a high school sports official?
I will just tell you, once you start doing it and you have relationships with other officials and coaches, it goes a long way, and it can be very rewarding. So give us a chance. We'll put you to work, and we think you'll enjoy it.
Bob, we appreciate your time joining us today on the Splash Live to tell us more, and hopefully plenty of our star athletes who have been making a big impact in their local communities, including close to home here in Greater West Bloomfield, will continue that tradition, whether it's in our community or in their college communities going forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For more information on becoming an official across sports at the high school level all throughout the state of Michigan, MHSAA.com is the place to go. Again, MHSAA.com. In just a few days, Greater West Bloomfield will celebrate its heroes at home and abroad, welcoming in a new school year across Greater West Bloomfield's local schools and kicking off a new season of West Bloomfield Laker football. And it all happens on Family Fun Night at West Bloomfield High School. Julie Beatty, one of the organizers of Family Fun Night, recently joined us right here on the Splash Live for a special preview.
Julie, very, very happy to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for allowing me to join you. I'm really excited.
Of course, and I'm very excited to be hearing about this year's very fun Family Fun Night. And as I just said, this year's theme is saluting the U.S. military, police, and fire heroes. How did that theme come to be? What inspired it?
Yeah, good question. Actually, that's been our theme since the very beginning. We began this about 14 years ago. It was myself, along with Nancy Cooper and Pat Watson, who was the principal at the high school at the time. And we started Family Fun Night with really a simple goal. It was to bring the West Bloomfield community together to celebrate the excitement of back-to-school season and really to strengthen the bonds that makes our area so special. And it kind of began as a smaller gathering. It's now grown into a beloved annual tradition that welcomes families, educators, local organizations from all across the area to come in and to be together and to celebrate basically the Greater West Bloomfield area. It is a night filled with laughter, music, games, connection. But more importantly, as you were stating, it is actually a time that we honor our heroes who keep us safe. So it honors the military service, every arm of the military, the police officers, our firefighters. We even recognize the first medical responders during COVID, so we recognize doctors and nurses and our appreciation to them during that time. So as I was saying, the military honoring and the police and the fire department have actually been an integral part of our program from the very beginning. And matter of fact, for 2 years, the fire department and the police department actually had softball games going on right before our event. So they've been an integral part of really bringing this community together and wanting to acknowledge and recognize the service and sacrifice that these people make for us. And as you said, it's about community pride, it is about gratitude, it is about togetherness. And I'm really excited to see where the next 14 years takes us with this event.
I'm very excited too, and I can hear the excitement in your voice, Julie. As you said, this event has been going on for the past 14 years. I do believe we have some photos for the people watching on Civic Center TV of last year's Family Fun Night event. It was such an amazing celebration. Can you give us an overview of maybe some of the activities planned for this year's event?
Absolutely. So as we do every year, the police department will be there. We have invited every arm of the armed forces. Right now, we're having I believe everybody has RSVP'd, yes. But of course, things do come up. So we won't know to the day of who's actually going to be able to be on site. But as of right now, we have all the armed forces being represented. We have the police department that have been invited from Kego Harbor, Orchard Lake, West Bloomfield. So some of them are going to be bringing cars. Some of them will be bringing their dogs. So we'll be able to see the dogs from the West Bloomfield Police Department. The fire department's going to be there. They're going to bring their fire trucks, the hazmat trucks. They will be bringing a piece from the Twin Towers from the 9/11.
Oh, wow.
So we'll be able to pay honor to those who we have lost in that horrible tragedy. So that will also be on site. And we also are going to be having face painting. We're going to have flip books, so opportunity for photo booth. We've invited 95.5 to be there. They've been there for us for the last couple of years. We are having bounce houses. So this year we're expanding our bounce houses. So we're going to have bounce houses appropriate for elementary and bounce houses that are a little more bigger and challenging for the middle schoolers to enjoy. A lot of the high school students will be there. A lot of them have been involved over the last several years. The Honor Society helps out and they volunteer for the event. We have different clubs coming in to represent. I know that the drama department's going to be there and they'll be doing face painting. So there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot for everybody to come on down. Every organization from the communities, I don't even want to list them because I'll forget somebody, but a lot of the communities are going to be there. All the PTOs will be there. It's going to be a great night. And we have actually surprised this year, fingers crossed. I don't want to give it away, so you're going to have to come down to see what it is. But we do have a rather big surprise that is scheduled to happen this year.
Man, you are setting the stage beautifully, Julie. It sounds like a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what's going to be happening this year. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Julie Beatty, the coordinator for this year's Family Fun Night that's going to be taking place on Thursday, August 28th at 5 p.m. Now, there's also going to be a varsity football game that takes place that night at West Bloomfield High School. So how do events like this strengthen school spirit and community pride, especially with the tie-in to the varsity football game?
That is our anchor. And that was always the intention for the last 14 years. This is our Friday night lights. You know, we don't have an actual downtown. So this really gets the opportunity for the community to come together like that old school, small town feel where we're supporting our local high school football team. We only have one high school in the greater West Bloomfield area. So let's all get down there, support our team, be the community, bring your children up to the high school. It's a great way to get the little ones exposed. It's a larger campus, so it can be a little daunting. So this is a great way to introduce them not only to the campus of the high school, but to a safe, happy, fun football game, and get to see a lot of the high schoolers who volunteer for the event.
That's right, and I'm so happy you just mentioned volunteering, because even though you're the coordinator for this event, I'd imagine it's very difficult to put on something like this alone. Volunteering plays a very big role in helping to make this event possible. What role do volunteers and school staff play in organizing and running this event?
They're instrumental. I couldn't do this without them. As I said, we started this 14 years ago with just the principal, myself, and Nancy Cooper just brainstorming and trying to figure out a way to put this together. It has now grown in astronomically. I mean, the entire district is involved. We got the principals make an announcement at the schools, getting kids fired up. We're selling spirit gear at the site at the Family Fun Night. It's free to get in for anybody wearing, or the kids wearing any spirit gear. So it's really an opportunity for the entire district to get together. We have a dunk tank every year, and the principals and the teachers give their time and give up, they get wet every year because the students will stand in line to dunk their principal and teachers. I volunteered one year, nobody wanted to dunk me, nobody cared. So it's amazing that these teachers and the principals give up their time and to be part of the event. And the entire school district central office is involved. They help coordinate it. The fire department, the police department has been incredibly supportive of this every year. The military's been supportive. It literally takes a huge village community to put this event on because it is the one event we have that is in district-wide. And it's huge and it's free. So come on down, join us on the 28th of August. We can't wait to see you. Thursday Night Lights this year.
Thursday Night Lights. I'm sure the kids absolutely love that dunk tank, but I can't wait to see what's to come from this year's event. I got one more question before we wrap things up, Julie. What advice would you give to families attending for the first time to really make the most of the evening?
Come early. There's so much to do. It starts at 5. If you come a little early, it's okay. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to see. The kids really enjoy it. We need to close down by 6:30 so we can get the armed forces and the police and fire out to the 50-yard line. So we always do a dedication to them pre-football game. So it only is about an hour and a half, even if you come at 5. So come early and enjoy the evening.
There you go. Come early and enjoy the evening. Can't wait to see it. Julie, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for supporting the event as well. I appreciate it.
WBSD.org is the place to go for more information on volunteering at future Family Fun Nights and other ways to get involved. You can also follow the West Bloomfield School District on their Facebook page for more information, Facebook and on Instagram at West Bloomfield Schools. We'll take a break. Plenty more to come in the coming minutes here on The Splash Live. We'll be back after this break. Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Hello, my name is Danya Bazzi. I'm the superintendent of West Bloomfield School District. I want to congratulate Civic Center TV on hitting the amazing milestone of 1 million viewers. Your involvement in our community doesn't go unnoticed. We thank you for keeping our residents and community engaged in the latest and greatest news and information. I'm Danya Bazzi, and I'm proud to be 1 in a million.
This is Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. On cable and the radio. On the web too, and on social media. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Live, local, social, welcome back to The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft. Thank you for joining us and, as always, for following along with our programming and special updates on CivicCenterTV.com and across our social media. Your trip to the county clerk's office to retrieve important documents for your home purchase or sale may be a thing of the past, a relief for many local homeowners and potential buyers, and the cause for national recognition. The Oakland County Clerk's Office recently picked up the 2025 National Association of Counties Achievement Award for their MyPropDocs service, allowing residents to electronically record critical real estate documents from the comfort of their home, office, or anywhere else online. I was joined by Oakland County Clerk Lisa Brown for more information on this national honor and this unique program born right here in Oakland County. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Tyler.
Yeah, happy to have you on and congratulations to you and your office and the whole team at the Oakland County Clerk and Register of Deeds office on winning this award from the National Association of Counties. But before we dive too much into what went into earning this award, tell us more about MyPropDocs and how that helps residents directly here in Greater West Bloomfield and across the county.
Well, electronic recording of documents has for years been a convenience for our high-frequency recorders like title companies, but individuals trying to record certain kind of documents, non-conveyance documents, have either had to walk those in or mail them in and not had this convenience of being able to electronically submit. And it's something I've been working on for years, and happy that this is phase one, but that it finally came to fruition, and really honored that actually some of my colleagues are already trying to duplicate the program. So it's the first of its kind in the country, and just excited to be able to offer more accessibility to our residents.
And it's more convenient for the residents, and I would imagine, too, it helps speed up the process of somebody either selling a home or certainly those that want to move in as soon as possible to that brand new home that they've just acquired. So now, just how much from your insight in the clerk's office does it actually speed up that process, if at all?
If somebody's mailing a document in as opposed to, walking it in, and I think some of these documents are ones that would have been mailed in, obviously, we never know how long the mail is going to take. And by the way, we don't charge you unless we accept the document. So, it's a much faster and it's more efficient for my staff to get through the electronic recordings as well. So it makes it faster on every side of the transaction as far as us receiving it and us being able to process it as well.
And we mentioned that it's a lot of these pretty common critical documents when there is some sort of a real estate transaction, a change of ownership from a property in the Oakland County area. But what are some of the examples of those documents that people may be able to e-file?
Yeah, not something that's transferring ownership. So we're not taking any kind of conveyance documents yet, not any kind of deeds or anything like that. But these are release of liens. So for a homeowners association, I know you were just talking about those a little bit. If you don't pay your HOA dues, your association may put a lien on your home. When you pay that off, they have to discharge that lien. So those are documents that now can be electronically recorded. A Liz pendant, so a notice that there's a lawsuit going on. Documents of those sorts of types that we're accepting now from individuals.
So take us back to getting into this program, because you mentioned it's something that's now sort of the envy of other clerk's offices across not only Michigan, but around the country who are now trying to emulate this in their local departments. So I would imagine for them it's been kind of difficult to find something of this kind that works really well for residents. So how did your office get to this?
Again, I've been working on this for years, and it was really in discussions with the vendors that do e-filing. So you have to e-recording, that you have to go through a platform, and they all kind of pushed back at first, and it was having a lot of conversations that one of them finally said, Simplifile finally said, okay, we're ready to have some discussions about this seriously. And, there were concerns about fraud, and fraud is a big issue that I have great concerns about, why I started my other award-winning program, PRN, Property Records Notification. But, when somebody is electronically submitting a document here through MyPropDocs, docs, they have to upload a copy of their driver's license. They have to give their email address. They have to give their cell phone number because they'll be sent a code to verify. And so we're getting more information plus an IP address. So we're getting more information from someone who's submitting this way than somebody who is mailing a document in basically anonymously. So it kind of quelled their concerns of elevated chance of fraud because it's actually reduced in some ways.
And you mentioned, too, that previously the property records notification system or the PRN system that you just brought up, that also received quite a lot of national attention, too, back in 2019. It got some attention at the Google Next conference for it being kind of a unique service itself. Tell us more about that and how that also sort of incorporates that theme of security with this information and these documents, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I thank you. I always say I strive to make my office a model, not just for the rest of the state, but really for the country. And with these two programs, I have done that. They are both first of their kind in the country. Property records notification is a free program that people can sign up to get an alert when something is recorded in the Register of Deeds office here in Oakland County, and they can use any search term. They can do it on we suggest property ID number, your Sidwell number. It has different names, but it's the same thing. Only because if you're like me, right, I'm not the only Lisa Brown in Oakland County. I'm not even sure I'm the only Lisa Brown in West Bloomfield. So I know I wasn't at some point. So you're going to get, false alerts because it's not going to be related to you. So something that's specific to your property, like your property ID number, is usually the best way to go. Unless you're concerned about tax liens. So I give that little caveat there. But, if you've heard commercials for, I think, Home Lock, and this is basically that except for free. And we can help you more than just telling you there's something. If you get an alert and you see that there's a lien on your property that, you didn't get a new roof, why is there a lien on your property? You call our office and we're going to be able to walk you through what you need to do next.
Yeah, and it's a really important service to have, too, whether you feel like you immediately need it or not. The fact that it's free and it's offered by your local county, that information gets out there. There's inaccuracies in it. There's something that's filed incorrectly or falsely filed on your behalf. You get that notification. The earlier you have it, the quicker you can address it and the less problems it can bring up for you as well.
Absolutely.
Oakland County Clerk and Register of Deeds Lisa Brown joins us on the Splash Live today. The Oakland County Clerk and Register of Deeds office earned a 2025 National Association of Counties Achievement Award for the innovative MyPropDocs services, helping to electronically file many of those essential real estate documents during that process, and joins us to tell us more about that on today's edition of the program. Lisa, another big element of being able to electronically file these documents is accessibility for those that may not be able to move around as easily. They can do this from the convenience of their home. So in terms of helping individuals make that more convenient for them in those situations, and even those that may be maybe less technologically savvy, what sort of assistance is available through the clerk's office to help people electronically file these documents?
So we've got a video on our website going through the steps of how you do it. And, again, if somebody has questions, they can always give us a call and we can walk them through the process. But there's FAQ on the website. So it's pretty self-explanatory as to when you upload the document, when you upload your ID. And like I said, if we have to reject your document for some reason, again, if you submit a document that isn't a type that we accept this way, we're going to reject it. We're not going to charge you. So, but check out the video on the website. That kind of explains it. And again, someone can always call and we can walk you through the process as well.
So 6 years ago, it was the property records notification system that was getting that national recognition. Fast forward to recently, it's the MyPropDocs innovation. So many of these that are capturing the eye of other clerks departments in our state and around the country. So maybe give us a preview. What's next on the docket?
I do have some other things that I'm working on, but I don't want to jinx anything. So it's they all take time. This again, both of those programs, it's not just overnight that these can be created, because they're being built from scratch, basically, and going over what everything looks like, what the user agreement looks like, what the FAQ looks like, even what it looks like on your computer to make it user friendly. They all take years to do, but I'm not done. Still some more innovations I'd like to bring.
And plenty more problems that can be solved and that can be helped by this technology, and keeping all that information in mind as you're putting together these programs. Not only ideas, but how to implement those ideas as well. And great to see that this is happening close to home here in Oakland County. Madam Clerk, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You can find more information on these programs as well as others affecting home properties across Oakland County, elections and more, oakgov.com/clerk, or follow them on Facebook at OC Clerk Michigan. Again, that's facebook.com/OC Clerk Michigan. That's our show. I want to remind you that television that's close to home is always online on civiccentertv.com and across our social media, which you can also find by clicking through on our website. Big thank you to our entire crew and to you for joining in. Scan that QR code to follow us all across social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and more. For our entire team, I'm Tyler Keefe. Live, local, social, it's been The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.